You know the rules of the pool. No running, no diving, no splashing, and absolutely always swim slowly and carefully. Right now, we're ready to break some rules. Dive in with us here at NPTV as the North Penn Knights boys swimming team is ready to face the Patriots of CV East. So come on in, the water's fine. We're set to get wet here at the North Penn High School pool. I am Marshall Laverty, and in the spirit of the buddy system, I'm going to tag off to my partner, Brian Clementez.
All right, thanks a lot, Asher. This first event, the 200 medley relay. CV East is in lanes 2, 4, and 6, and North Penn is in lanes 1, 3, and 5. In lane 1 for North Penn Knights is Mizialco, Marino, Bauchi, and Rampart. In lane 3 is Craig, Zabo, Raider, and Unloff. In lane 5 is Silvo Zabo, Adams, McPeak, and Kronstein.
One of the keys to this race is a good start, and the tag-offs are very important here. Timing is everything.
Timing on both parts of the swimmer and the person standing on the block is perfect. It is crucial, this kind of a race. In this race, 4 swimmers swim. The first one swims back, breast, free, and fly in that order.
A swimmer leaving too early would mean disqualification for his entire relay team, but if the swimmer in the pool's hand touches the wall before the swimmer on the block jumps off, then that's a late start.
In lane 3, North Penn is still leading. Last stroke coming up here is the freestyle. As in lane 3, Unloff takes over for North Penn in the lead.
Second is lane 5, also North Penn.
North Penn getting a good start off here. And in first place is North Penn in lane 3 at 1:43.75. And in lane 5 is second place, also North Penn. CB East coming in third in lane 4 with a 1:53.11. All good around race there for North Penn. Up next is the 200 freestyle. Again, CB East is in 2, 4, and 6. And in lane 1 is Jeff Fakish. In lane 5 is Jeremy Bergman. And in lane 1 is Phil Valenti. But considered in college, this is a sprint event. In high school, it's more of a distance event.
8 laps by 1 swimmer is the race here.
One of the good things that they got to concentrate on is pacing themselves, since this is an 8-lap event. Also, a good start can prove better if you get a good start than a late one. As the racers get set. Clean start. Jeff Fakish taking the early lead on the kick turn.
A few meets ago, Jeff Fakish reached a milestone. He broke a 21-year-old record, a 21-year-old pool record here at North Penn High School. Incidentally, the record was held by North Penn High swimming coach Bartle's young older brother, Tony Bartle, who had the old record of minute 46 seconds point 22. But Jeff Fakish broke the record by only 10/10 of a second, swimming 1:46.12. Great accomplishment for him here. 21-year-old record. Those things don't fall too easily.
Halfway point, Jeff Fakish is in the lead at 52.54, with CB East close behind.
All swimmers swimming a good race here.
Both teams off their benches cheering on the swimmers, trying to give them some encouragement. Fakish reaching the last lap here. Breathing is also important here on the long events, making sure you keep your rhythm.
Stroke, stroke, breathe. I learned that right here in North Penn High swimming class.
Fakish is pulling it out. He'll touch in with a 147.71, and CB East will come in with a 152.37. Good swim there by Fakish.
Just under the record he set a few meets ago. I'm sure he's still pretty happy with his performance.
The next event here is the 200 individual medley. 8 laps, 1 swimmer, swimming 4 different strokes. First with butterfly, then backstroke, then breast, and then ending up with the free. Again, CB Easton 2, 4, and 6. And for North Penn, Jason Craig is in lane 3, Ago Zabo in lane 5, and Silvo Zabo in lane 1.
Yes, they are brothers.
One of the crucial things in the 200 IM is you got to make your turns. The turn can make or break anything here. The push off the wall is so crucial to give them extra speed and allowing them to save their energy for a stroke that is not one of their best.
And, energy is something very important when you're swimming 8 laps here. You gotta have it, you gotta keep it, and you gotta swim with it.
The breaststroke here is probably one of the easiest strokes in this event, so everybody's pretty good at that. Swimmers get set and going.
False start. See who jumped off.
In case of a false start, in the middle of the pool, there's this yellow line, if you can see it on your screen right now, that they drop it, but they didn't drop it this past time.
They drop that to stop the swimmers in case of a false start.
Swimmers go off good this time, no false start. Starting off with the butterfly here. Jason Craig a little late on his turn in lane number 3, CB East. In the lead, lane number 4.
All swimmers swimming pretty even here.
Lane number 3, Jason Craig at 26.2. Coming in, stretching that second lap of the butterfly, doing a really good job there. It's crucial in this back part that doing the backstroke that the swimmers see the flags. The flags are an important part, that they know that there's 15 yards left, meters, I don't know what it is, that they have till they hit the wall and then they turn over.
No one wants the embarrassment of running into the wall in a major race, so the flags aren't there to be aesthetically pleasing. Yes, so the swimmers don't run into the walls.
Jason Craig still in first at 57.39.
Still, the race remains close as the CBE swimmer in lane 4 is in second place with 57.73.
Another crucial thing in the backstroke is your reach and pull. The harder you pull, the faster you will go. And the one thing under the water is you get one stroke, one kick, and that helps you.
That's why these swimmers do a lot of weight training. They don't have to just have strong legs. They also have to have strong arms. Swimmers have to be all-around athletes.
Jason Craig still in first on his last lap of freestyle.
Making some room here.
Stretching his lead to one body length. He'll hit the pad. at 2:01.64.
Good, confident race by North Penn there. It stayed close most of the way, but they stuck it out and were able to pull it out at the end.
Next event, the 50 freestyle, 2 laps of the pool.
Yeah, we have
against
a sprint
CB
coming
East
up.
In 2, 4, and 6. And in lane 3 for North Penn, Steve Johnston. In lane 5, Eric Unloff. And in lane 1, Mike McPeak.
Starts are important because if you get behind early in a short race like the 50, you don't have much time to catch up. You don't want to fall behind here. You want to start off quick, start off ahead, and stay ahead and finish ahead.
Swimmers take their marks.
Oh, lane 6 swimmer false started there.
It's not a false start as the starter comes out and calls.
They allowed one false start. A little jumpy there.
Clean start. Steve Johnston powering through this first lap. Gets a nice turn. Kicks off the wall really good. He's pushing it here. See what he comes in with. Hits the pad at 22.89.
North Penn coming on strong, winning all of the first events.
22.89 is a new record, it looks like. Hold up. No, it's not, sorry. I was looking at the girls' side.
Ah.
But a good swim there for Steve Johnston.
Absolutely. North Penn, very impressive here in the early going, showing their power, showing their strength, their stamina.
Next, we'll go to diving. Participants for North Penn, Steve Bonner, Matt Boner, and Brian Donovan will be diving for North Penn. Each diver is required to have 6 dives. 1 is a required dive, and the diver gets to pick the other 5. There are 48 separate dives in this competition.
Difficult choice to make, but I'm sure all the swimmers know what their strengths are. They know which dives best suit them in their own style. But one dive I know we won't be seeing is the cannonball, because the goal here is to make as little splash as possible and hit that water as cleanly as that diver can.
With this first half of swimming over, we're going to step aside.
They've given our generation a label. X. Generation nothing. They say we have no sense of purpose. They say we have no war to fight and no cause to believe in. Who are they? Join the thousands of us who are making a difference and wear a label that does mean something.
Math, a four-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that. Why design the world's newest chips? When you could be flipping the world's oldest burgers. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. Geometry, algebra. No pocket protectors here. But you're cruising without math. Yeah, right. Take a good look. That's math staring back at you. It's not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
All right, and welcome back here to North Penn High School pool. We're in the event of diving now. And Brian Donovan taking his first dive there. With a score of 4.5, 5.5, and 4.
Diving well here at North Penn High is 15 feet deep. Depth of the regular pool is 5.5 feet. And the pool is 75 feet long. Unfortunately, because of the low depth of the regular pool, our water polo team can't play at home. These water polo pools have to be, I believe, 8 feet deep, I think, for a water polo game. Is that correct, Brian?
That's correct. They can't play a water polo game here, but they can practice here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But this pool is ideal for swimming.
CB East diver getting 5.5, 6.5, and I think a 5.5. This is Matt Bonner of North Penn. Matt Bonner concentrating. Dead silence here in the pool.
Stone face there.
Does his required dive.
Hit the pool clean.
5.5, 6.5, and a 6.5.
Good clean dive there.
Steve Bonner diving here for North Penn.
Getting a feel for the board. I'm sure there's some mental preparation needed for diving like this. Divers always seem to take that extra few seconds to collect their thoughts.
Scores from Matt, Steve, 6.5, 6.5, and 7. See Steve there getting some instruction from his coach. Clean dive. And Brian Donovan with his second dive.
Dive of his choice.
Coming close to the board there.
Scores are 3, 4, and 4.
Didn't quite hit the water vertical there as he needed to be. He was a little arched when he hit.
Yeah. The straighter the diver is, the less splash there will be, because the straighter diver is, the more directly they'll hit the water. And you saw there his back was arched, so more of his body hit the water, which created a bigger splash.
There was
Five.
2 somersaults.
5, 5, and 6.
Matt doing a 2 1/2 somersault in the tuck position. Good dive, coming over rotating just a bit, and it's like we're a little split there.
Spun out, hit the water at the end.
Steve will be doing a 2 1/2 pike somersault forward dive. One of his more better dives here. Nice, tight. Was a little bit under-rotated there. Didn't bring his feet up as straight as it needed to be. It got a little splashback. Brian Donovan, leg spinning out there. Getting a 3-4, 3 1/2 on that dive.
1.7 for the difficulty there.
Inward pike somersault.
Good look there. 4, 3.5, and 4 were the scores there.
Matt's dive at a 2. It was a 2.5 backward somersault.
I believe so.
Concentrating. Definitely the key here in diving. Nice 2.5.
Straight sixes.
Hit the water almost as straight as a pencil.
Good dive there.
Steve's third dive.
As you see, there is no high dive here at the North Bend Pool. I'm sure that that allays the nerves of the divers with the fear of heights. 4, 5, and a 5.
Not a good score there for Steve. Was a little too laid out
Looks a bit
entering the
disappointed.
water. Brian Donovan with his 4th dive.
Two and a half, 3, and a 3.
Backward somersault, spun around the midair. Getting a 4 1/2, 3, and a 5. Matt doing a 2 somersault reverse tuck. One of the more difficult things to do. You'll see him pull to the left, or excuse me, the right. So I've watched him in practice many times. He pulls that to the right.
5, 5.5, and another 5.5.
Looking back to see where he landed in the water. To get a better score, he wants to be straighter off the board, land in front of the board more. He just, when he yanks it back to get the 2 somersaults in, he goes too much to the right. Steve's 4th dive here.
Big splash there. 6, 5, 5.5 for the score.
Steve over-rotating a little too much. Pulled it. Brian Donovan's 5th dive. Forward 1.5.
Feet drag a bit. 3.5, 4.5, and 3.5.
CB East diver looking a little confused on the dive he's supposed to do.
Well, it's been a pretty exciting meet so far, Brian. What do you think about that?
I think North Penn has really dominated in this meet so far. Good swimming.
Yeah, they've come out strong in the first half. This diving portion is going pretty well for the Knights.
The coach from CB East is Ed Walsh. Match fit dive. An inward 1.5 it looked like there. A really good dive from Matt. 7, 6.5, and 7.
If you're hearing that voice over the public address system, you just might recognize it. It's a North Bend swim teacher, Miss Robinson. So she knows her swimming.
Used to coach here back in the 80s. Used to coach the girls' team.
Now she teaches swimming and health education. Six, 6.5, and a 6. One of the better dives of this diving portion of this meet. Divers are always a picture of concentration up there on that board. I'm sure it takes some guts to make that leap of faith backwards off that diving board or even forwards in any way like that.
Brian Donovan's last dive.
Sure, he wants to get the most out of it. We'll see what he does.
Inward 1.5.
Inward dive like that is probably made more difficult by the fact that you're diving inward towards the board, but you still have to get away from the board at the same time. Bit of a paradox, but these divers just pull it off.
Forward 1.5 pike with a half twist. Matt's last dive here. Forward pike,
Nice
1.5.
Six and a half, a 5, and a 6.
This is Steve Bonner's one of his most difficult dives.
Save the best for last.
Incorporating 2 twists into a 1.5. I think pike somersault or a somersault. He's got to whip his arms around so he can get that rotation for the 2. You'll see it here. Comes away with a little more splash than he might have liked.
Didn't I see that in the Olympics, Brian? 6, 6, 5.5. Very difficult dive there.
Another 10-minute warm-up.
It's the end of the diving portion of this North Penn CB East meet. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have the 100 butterfly, 100 freestyle, and 500 freestyle.
In a recent worldwide educational test, the United States didn't rank first,
Korea,
or second,
Taiwan,
or even third.
Switzerland.
It seems while the rest of the world raised
Canada,
their educational standards,
Scotland,
we didn't.
Slovenia,
So we came in
Spain,
14th.
the United States.
And 14th is no place for our kids to be. For a free booklet of simple things we all can do to help raise standards, call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Imagining what it feels like to be in a crash doing only 30 without your safety belt is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
All right, and welcome back to our second half action here at North Penn Pool. That diving event.
Do we have some results?
Yes, we do. Steve Bonner came in first, and Matt Boner came in second. Greg Henley came in third, and Brian Donovan was disqualified for wearing jewelry.
Yes, they have pretty strict regulations about the uniforms. Sure, it's not much, but the standard attire is the suits and caps and goggles, and everybody must wear a team suit. And the swimmer can also be disqualified for not wearing a team suit. So right now we're watching the 100 butterfly. It's a 4-lap race with one swimmer.
Okay, CB East is again in 2, 4, and 6. And in lane 3 is Jason Craig. Lane 5 is Kevin Rader. And in lane 1 is Mike McPeak. Close race here between North Penn and CB East. In lane 3, Jason Craig trying to push it out. We'll see what they hit the touchpad. Lane 3 coming in first at 54.46. And lane number 4 at 55.64.
This is a race that counts on the kick. You got to control your kick in the butterfly. You know, most people kick down, but you also have to kick up, and it's for the power, for the pacing, for the rhythm. So it may look easy, but it's pretty complicated. Coming up, we got the 100 freestyle. It's a sprint event with 4 laps.
And for North Penn in the 100 free, in lane number 3 is Steve Johnston. In lane 5, Eric Unloff. And in lane 1, Phil Valenti.
Most of North Penn's strong swimmers are coming out here, winning races, but also they've got to think about tomorrow. Because of the snow and the weather, they have a meet tomorrow against Pennsbury. So their schedule is full.
Swimmers get on their blocks.
No rest for the weary. Start is an important thing in this event.
Also, their turns have got to be crucial. They got to get a hard kick off the wall if they want to do good. Steve Johnson, an excellent swimmer here for North Penn in the freestyle events. Stretching his lead to about a body length.
23 seconds, 0.92 tenths of a second for Johnson in lane 3.
Looks like Steve will come away with a win here.
North Penn in the driver's seat in this race. All their swimmers are going 1, 2, 3.
At a 49.32 win for North Penn. Steve Johnston coming in first place.
Good solid time there for the Knights.
These times look a little slow. They're still pretty fast. They don't want to get a fast time before districts. They want to keep winning, but at a decent enough pace to get themselves in the districts.
And a little while beforehand, we were talking about how North Penn has many strengths, and then the stamina of this team, and it shows in the number of swimmers going to districts. And the list is as follows: Jeff Fakish, Phil Valenti, and Chris Dursek, Silvo and Ago Zabo, Steve Johnston, Jason Craig, Jamie Knight, Greg Adams, Kevin Rader, Jeremy Bergman, then Mike McPeak and Eric Umlauf. Those districts are going to be held in the first weekend of March at the University of Pennsylvania. So a very impressive list of solid swimmers.
Now it's time for the long event, the 500 freestyle, 20 laps of the pool. CB East again in 2, 4, and 6. And for North Penn, in lane 3, Jeff Fakish, taken after his older brother, Brian Fakish, who used to swim. Let's see here, the 1,000 freestyle 40 lapper, used to swim at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania during the years of 85 through 89.
Swimming is a family thing here. Kevin Rader's older brother swam on the team last year, graduated, and Silvo and Ago Zabo, of course.
And the Valentes.
So the bloodlines run thick here at North Penn.
Also along with the Bartles.
Absolutely.
Mr. Bartle, the swim coach here, and his older brother.
Yes.
Both swam here for North Penn.
Very, very strong tradition here in North Penn swimming.
Also in this 500 free in the lane 5 for North Penn is Jeremy Bergman, and in lane 1, Chris Durchek. It's not so much the speed that you need in this event, it's the more pacing. And
20 laps may seem long here, but some college events run as many as 66 laps. So this might be considered a sprint elsewhere, but here at the high school level, it's a distance event.
you'll see people in each lane holding cards for the swimmers so they can keep track of the laps, so they don't lose count.
Also, there's a signaling that goes on between the partners of the swimmer and the non-swimmer standing with the card. When the person with the card shakes it back and forth, swings it back and forth, that means that the swimmer is going too fast and needs to slow down, because pacing is extremely important in a 20-lap event like this. When the person with the card moves the card up and down, that means to speed it up. You're falling behind. So it's definitely this is a buddy system right here.
It's definitely a buddy system.
Communication is the key.
It is the key here. Also, the swimmer holding the card can give encouragement by using arm movements and different things like that.
Yeah.
And also the referee has a gun. With 2 laps to go, he'll fire the gun off. So the swimmer can hear how many laps he's got left.
Yeah, it's the number on the card is very important, because swimming 20 laps, a swimmer might lose concentration, lose track of what lap it is, or just maybe his mind might wander. But when he sees the card, he knows what lap it is, he knows how far he's got to go and how far he's gone. So it also helps with the pacing. Pacing is crucial.
Coach Bartle telling lane 5 card holder to bounce it up and down, to tell him to go a little faster, that he's behind pace. As we're reaching the 2:25 mark, Fakish in first with a 2 minutes, 21 seconds, and 88 tenths.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 with Fakish, Dursek, and Bergman.
They all come in with good times here. 2:50 mark. Fakish with a 2:51.12.
Halfway done here. All right, more than halfway done. It's 500 freestyle.
Kevin Rader telling Jeff Fakish to go a little faster, push the pace a little.
Jeff Fakish in lane 3 with a big lead. He's at 3 minutes, 20 seconds of the second place swimmer, which is
Lane number 5.
Lane number 5, which is Chris Dursek. That, excuse me. Yes, that is Chris Dursek. He only has, he's a 3:32. To Fakish, a comfortable 12 seconds ahead, past the halfway mark.
Ref holds, the official holds up the gun to signal 2 laps left. There it fires.
Hope it didn't scare you.
Letting Jeff Fakish know he's on his last 2 laps.
All swimmers swimming a really good race here. Coach Bartle telling his troops to speed it up.
Fakish with a 4:19.97. The last lap, pushing it hard into the wall. He'll come in with a 4:48.59. Good race.
Very good race.
Looks like North Penn will take this 1, 2, and 3. As lane 5 comes in second and lane 1 in third.
Good race for the Knights. They look really solid out there. Swimming well as a team and as individuals. I believe they've come in first in every event so far, and we only have a couple left. 200 free relay, 100 backstroke, 100 breaststroke, and 400 relay. That was the longest event of the meet.
And CB East finishing out the last swimmer. Both the pad at 16.54.
At the end of each lane, there are those touch pads. They're activated by a beep, and each swimmer is required to touch the pad. If they don't, that means their time didn't register, and they might be disqualified.
Time doesn't register. It's not really a big deal, but these guys have been swimming so long that they know they hit the pad hard and solid.
Yes.
The 200-yard free relay is next. Jeff Fakish in lane 3, Steve Johnston, Eric Unloff, and Mike McPeak. Jeff Fakish winning that long distance event, 500 freestyle. Now having to go into a sprint 2-lap.
Yes.
Swim.
You have to have stamina.
Lane 5 for North Penn, Gabe Turzo, Justin Valenti, Steve Pasquale, and Jeremy Bergen. In lane 1, Jason Geddes, Steve Philibom, Billy Baldwin, and Jim Thompson. CB East is in 2, 4, and 6.
Good start. It's an 8-lap race. 4 swimmers go 2 laps each.
The start and the tag against the wall, very important in this kind of a race. Slow off the block is not good.
Got to support your teammates here because their run depends on the way that you swim.
Neck and neck in lanes 4 and 3. Just 2/10 faster. Lane 4 is in the lead now at 46.69. Lane 3, 4/10 of a second back. Looks like they're picking it up here on this lap.
This is where it happens. You probably don't want to make your final swimmer fight for it. You want to give them a comfortable lead so they can just ride it into the finish.
It's going to be close here coming around the finish. As lane 3 makes their last turn. Good strong kick.
Body length difference there.
And North Penn will clock in first at a 132.43. Lane 4, CB East in second at 134.07.
Good race.
North Penn just dominating here.
See, after a fast race like that, swimmers just want to relax.
Especially Jeff Fakish after swimming the 500 free and then going into the 200 free relay. The 100 backstroke is next. In lane 3 is Ago Zabo. In lane 5 is Kevin Rader. And in lane 1 is Chris Craig, his brother, the all-time favorite here at North Penn, Jason Craig.
Yes. This is a 4-lap race. Excuse me. I was reading the wrong race.
It is still a 4-lap race.
Yes. Right. And this is 100 backstroke, and coming up we'll have 100 breaststroke and 400 relay.
Cheers coming from the crowd, from the North Penn fans. Swimmers get into the water.
You know, swimmers don't start on the blocks. They could either start with their feet in the gutters with their hands in the handles, or a stand-up start where they stand in the gutter as opposed to having most of their weight on the water. In the backstroke, this is where the flags come in, because when you're swimming on your back, you can't see when the wall's coming up, and the flags are very important. They tell you when you're 15 feet away from the wall.
You'll see the backstrokers wanting to cut through the water with their hands. Use the path of least resistance to make it stronger.
Yes. Shall we say these swimmers are masters of the elements? At least of water.
Well, at least of water.
Yes.
But most of these backstrokers, with pools in the high schools around the surrounding area that North Penn competes against, during the warm-up, usually the backstrokers, or the ones who are swimming backstroke, count the number of strokes they use before they hit the wall. And then they'll be able to gauge when they have to turn over, use that one freestyle stroke to hit the wall and turn.
Yeah, that's the science of swimming. And I'm sure all the swimmers know their own style. And I'm sure, as in many other sports like football and basketball, there's scouting of the other teams. See where their strengths are.
Ago Zabo winning that event with a 56.58 time. Up next, the second heat. Or excuse me, it's not a second heat. The 100-yard breaststroke. CBE still in 2, 4, and 6 in lane 3. Silvo Zabo in lane 5. Greg Adams, and in lane 1, Tim Kronstein. This event, the key thing is the pull out. It is extremely important in this event. The most speed is off of the turn under the water. The good swimmers hold the long strikes under the waters. The longer they go underwater, the faster they can go with their, but they're only allowed 1 pull and 1 kick underwater.
I'll be using a whip kick here. It's important that they come out around and together. The knees have to drop and the ankles, they have to drop them out together. And most of the power comes when you pull your legs together. And then this is one of the more difficult strokes.
It's kind of like if you've ever seen a frog swim underwater. That's the kind of action they're using.
Mm-hmm. Are you comparing the swimmers to frogs?
Not really, but the stroke, they're using the kick they use in the backstroke. You won't see most of these swimmers pop up until they hit the middle of the pool because of the pull out they use. They don't do a flip turn as they do in freestyle. They do a kind of just a regular turn, a touch turn. Mm-hmm. So they hit the wall, they just turn.
This is a very smooth, rhythm-oriented stroke. Close race here.
Silvo Zabo hitting the touchpad first on the second lap, coming in at 30.28. Very close here.
The closest races so far this meet.
Coming down neck to neck, hitting the flags. See who's touchpad first. In lane 4, winning their first event is CV East at a 103.84, and Silvo Zabo coming in at 104.26.
Good close race there.
CBE's coming our way with their first win of this meet. Last event, the 400 freestyle relay. Each swimmer of the group will swim 4 laps. Again, the keys for this race is the good start and the good exchange. If you ever see a North Penn practice, they'll be working constantly on that exchange, since these relays are a big part of the swimming competition. In lane 3, Steve Johnston. Steve Johnston, Jason Craig, Jeff Fakish, and Phil Valente in lane 3. In lane 5, Jeremy Bergen, Kevin Rader, Chris Durchek, and Justin Valente. And in lane 1, Schneider, Devin Philibong, Doug Philibong, and Ryan McGrath.
This is our last event of this meet. Four swimmers, 4 laps, freestyle. Simple formula. Let's see a good race.
Good start off the blocks by all swimmers. CB East, slight lead in lane number 4. But they'll hit the turn about dead even. You'll see some of the swimmers, as they kick off the wall, they usually use a flutter kick or kind of a breaststroke dolphin kick. North Penn will hit the pad first at 24.43.
But they're only separated by 0.04 tenths of a second.
In this race, you want to swim as straight as possible, not weaving around the line that's on the center of the pool.
The lines on the bottom of the pool are there for a reason. They're there so the swimmers can swim in a straight line. You know, the old rule does apply. The shortest distance between 2 points is that straight line. So swimmers want to stay straight and concentrate on that. But so whenever next time you go to your local pool, look for the lines. They're not just there.
Phil Valente taking a slight lead on CB East in lane number 4. As he'll hit the pad at 1:15.04. This looks like he's slowing down a little bit here. As both swimmers hit the turn at almost exactly at the same time. As each swimmer here swimming 100 yards, it is still a pretty long event. And CB East will hit the pad first at 1:42.40. Steve Johnston swimming this third leg for North Penn, trying to pull out a lead. He'll bring them back in the first place at 2:05.91, stretching his lead even further. Got about a half a body length now, makes his turn on his final lap of his part of his relay. Jeff Fakish will anchor this relay for North Penn. Final 100 here for North Penn as they clock in at 2:31.74. Jeff Fakish stretching North Penn's lead here, as the closest CB East is in lane number 4, about 3 body lengths behind.
Jeff Fakish, the anchor, doing everything but sinking. And he's helping North Penn swim a solid race.
Coming up on his last 2 laps, as CB East has regained some of that ground, make his turn for his last lap. And they'll just motor this one right home, as North Penn will take the victory here in this event. He'll clock in at 3:24.04. He'll hit the pad.
Fakish taking a couple of well-deserved deep breaths after swimming a good race. Fakish swam an all-around good meet, being key in many events for North Penn.
As Jeff Fakish swam in as he swam in 4 events here today, helping North Penn to a victory.
Jeff Fakish is this week's Athlete of the Week here in North Penn.
Good all-around meet by both teams.
Johnston, Craig, Fakish, and Valente pull it out for the Knights. Good swim there. Excellent team effort.
131 to 52. North Penn wins this meet by a good margin, stretching their undefeated.
Yes, we can mention it now.
So we didn't want to jinx them.
Team, yes.
Earlier, they have 130 dual meets in a row since starting in the late 80s. And they've won states recently in 3 consecutive years, 90, 91, and 92. Hopefully looking to win this year at states.
Yes, North Penn has always been a power when it comes to swimming in Eastern Pennsylvania. And I'm sure they want to keep that streak alive. No team wants to be known as the team that broke the streak, but this year's North Penn swim team is very solid, coming on strong, always showing what they got, doing with what they have, and they have a lot. Solid meet here for the Knights.
As we'll come over and shake hands.
Always the case with good sportsmanship.
And that ends our coverage of North Penn boys swimming here in the North Penn High School pool.
Your final score 131-52. North Penn beats CB East.
For Asher Laverde, I'm Brian Clementiz. Good night.